Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We are staying on top of that breaking news. A massive earthquake starting near Russia has triggered tsunami waves from Japan to Hawaii up and down the west coast. This is video from Japan where more than 2 million people being evacuated. Waves as high as 4 feet are hitting the country's east coast. New video from this morning also showing the damage in Russia after the 8.8 magnitude earthquake that hit the country's remote far east. This is one of the most powerful earthquakes ever recorded. Waves in Russia are ranging from 10 to 13 feet high, according to state media out there. Now, this, of course, sparking concerns in Hawaii as the west coast, and we take you live to San Francisco, where a tsunami wave of 3.6 feet was recorded in Crescent City, that is in Northern California. A tsunami advisory is in effect for the entire California coast. And now to Hawaii. This is San Francisco here. We'll go to Hawaii in a moment for a live look at Waikiki Beach. The tsunami threat was downgraded to an advisory overnight. Officials saying the state is past the worst of this and is unlikely to see any impacts bigger than they have already seen. Right now, we're hearing from experts about just how harsh these waves can be.
The traveling speed of a tsunami pretty much is controlled by the water depths of the ocean, which we say bathymetry, and they travel around like 700 kilometers per hour, which is like jet plane. And it's usually very small in the deep ocean. It's pretty quiet in the deep ocean, but once the tsunami wave reach the shallow water, and then the energy release will be in the forms of wave height, and the water will pile up and cause severe damage along the coastline.
Now, while some residents have been permitted to go back to their homes, many were told yesterday to evacuate. Here's a time lapse from yesterday showing heavy traffic jams next to a marina in downtown Honolulu. While evacuation orders for coastal zones have also been canceled, officials say residents returning should be keeping an eye out for some damage. The governor in Hawaii, Josh Green, provided an update on what's happening out there and the warnings.
So again, you can expect a tsunami wave to hit the state, and it will not just hit one beach. It will wrap around the islands very likely, therefore causing a wave in Hilo, in Kona, and in Kauai, and on Maui. You have to be safe, and please do not come back out until we give you the all clear. That will be very important. We'll be constantly updating you. Everything has been okay so far. We haven't seen a big wave, but when that water receded in Haleiwa and we saw some boats kind of laying on the dry rock and sand, that gave us pause. That doesn't happen for no reason. When the water pulls back like that, that means there's activity in the ocean. So again, we keep our fingers crossed that we don't suffer a big tsunami. Again, people have been very thoughtful and very safe, and that's something we appreciate.
Now, earlier we had an opportunity to talk to somebody currently in Hawaii, Dr. Rose Moten, who is a clinical psychologist and director of the Bloom Transportation Center. She has been here on Local 4 many times. She's actually one of the people writing out these warnings in Hawaii. Here's part of that conversation.
We've had reports from the governor and other individuals from the Tsunami Center here. And even though those waves don't sound, when you hear it 3 feet, 5 feet, that's not really taken into consideration the real gravity of the damage that it can cause. Fortunately, where we are, we just kept driving. I literally told my children I can feel my ears popping, so I knew we were, on higher ground. We don't have any view right now of I'm looking over to the side. I can see, the lights down in Maui now, but it's 11 p.m. here now. So it's, it's nighttime, and I'm not able to see any water from where I am.
And we're going to keep an eye on this all day and bring you updates throughout the day on Local 4 Plus and clickondetroit.com. Well, we've been talking about so many things. We're going to keep an eye on other big stories right now. New concerns about funding cuts that could impact the Great Lakes, how it could affect everything from shipping to tourism, and we'll talk about your money with the Federal Reserve set to make a decision on interest rates today. We're going to hear from Consumer Reports about the easiest ways to pay off any debt that you might have. And then that infamous disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa. If you can believe it, Today marks 50 years since that Teamsters boss was last seen here in Metro Detroit. We have a new documentary we're going to premiere tonight about that case at 8 o'clock, and we're going to talk to one of the producers about the new theories into his disappearance. Which actually leads us to our question of the day. What do you think happened to Jimmy Hoffa? Send me your best theories. We might read them right here on Local 4, unless they're just crazy and outlandish like all of Michelle's theories. You can weigh in by scanning the QR code on your screen or head to clickondetroit.com/vote. Now to your headlines and a breaking news update. We just got into our newsroom. We have learned that the 2 people killed were in the vehicle when it crashed into a building on Gratiot near French Road. Another person in critical condition, another in stable. So a total of 4 were in that car when it crashed into a building. It happened on Gratiot near French on Detroit's east side. Police say the car was speeding before that crash. New York honoring lives lost after a gunman opened fire inside of a Manhattan high-rise Monday night. People gathered in the heart of New York City to remember the victims of that shooting that claimed 4 lives. The multi-faith prayer vigil was an opportunity for religious and city leaders as well as New Yorkers to come together, grieving, praying, and paying their respects to the NYPD officer and 3 civilians who were shot at 345 Park Avenue. Well, back home, today a teen will be sentenced for his role in the murder of Oakland County Deputy Bradley Reckling. Marquise Goins was charged with being an accomplice to the murder in June of 2024. 2 other teens were also charged. Yesterday, Raymond DeBose pled guilty for the deputy's murder. He's facing between 33 and 60 years in prison, but he's not going to be sentenced until August 22nd. A 3rd teen involved, Kareem Moore, is serving a 20-year sentence.